Hi, we're here at the Pima Air and Space Museum. I'm Andrew, Director of Collections and Exhibits, and today we're going to talk about our Desert Storm exhibit, or First Gulf War exhibit. We put this exhibit together a few years ago and incorporated a lot of cool artifacts that we had recently gotten and were donated to the museum for our collection and also for display purposes. As we kind of move on, a lot of Desert Storm veterans are getting to the point where they're downsizing and they're looking for homes for a lot of their uniforms, artifacts, flight gear, stuff like that. We tried to do a little more all-encompassing exhibit, focusing on the air side of the campaign, but also incorporating the ground assets and how they were all interconnected. For example, behind me we have a display case with a lot of our full uniforms. We have a full uniform from a major in the Army who was with artillery and special forces, Major Ken Graves, who's also a volunteer here, is an exhibit volunteer and a restoration volunteer. We also have captured Iraqi uniform and gear on display. The blue overalls are also used by a Navy crew chief who was the crew chief for our A-7 Corsair II that's on display here at the museum, which was the last deployment and last cruise of A-7s aboard U.S. carriers. We also have a flight suit and flight helmet and flight gear on display that was used by John Boyd in Desert Storm. If you've been listening to the Damcasters podcast, you'll remember that Matt interviewed John Boyd a while back here at the museum in front of the F-117A that we have in our collection that had John Boyd's name on the cockpit. It's his same helmet and flight suit that he had. It also has the digital camel parka, which is not exactly how they would have used it. They didn't wear it over their flight suit, but most pilots, when they were in Saudi Arabia, wore digital camo while they were walking around the flight line and around the base because they were considered high priority targets. So at night, it would kind of help camouflage them in if there were snipers or someone trying to go after them. We also have the POW uniform from Jeffrey Fox, who was an OA-10 pilot who was based out of Desert Storm, deployed over there. He was shot down and became a POW. We also have artifacts from Jeffrey Tice, who was an F-16 pilot who was shot down in Desert Storm and became a POW. We have the F-16 canopy that was actually recovered from his F-16, and we also have his POW jacket that was signed by all the other POWs from Desert Storm. We also have various other artifacts, including some RAF gear and British Ground Force gear, as well as various captured Iraqi equipment. So it's kind of a cool little exhibit that kind of ties into a lot of our aircraft that we have here on display and people locally who were involved in Desert Storm.